The reason I'm sharing this personal journey with you is because you are going to go through the same journey. After every feeling of wow, awe, the feeling of awe, when you actually start practicing yourself in the clinic, you are going to get disillusioned. Here, when you spend 5, 6 months, you might feel pretty confident because you are not treating the patient yourself. You are just seeing somebody else treat. But to see someone else's case and to treat a case yourself, again, it's different. Here, you are not responsible for the case. You are not making the judgment yourself. Although you will be taught clinically to make those judgments when they are live cases, but still, when you are entirely on your own, you will have a different mindset. So, then what happened? Over the next couple of years, I realized that the problem is not with the methods, the problem is with me. And what was the problem with me? The problem with me was exactly the same problem that is with you. Poor basics. Nobody had taught me how to live organon. Most students are not even taught how to read organon. Fortunately, I had read organon well, I understood it pretty well. But organon is not a subject that you actually just read and understand. It's a subject that you are supposed to live. Organon is not a dry subject, it's the rule book. And the rules are supposed to be lived. They're not just supposed to be understood. Traffic rules are not supposed to be just read and understood. Traffic rules are supposed to be followed. They give you direction, they give you a system, they give you an approach. They organize your life. Similarly, organon gives you that structure, those rules, which actually you have to live and not just read and understand. The problem is that nobody actually teaches how to live the organon. So from there on, I started working on organon again. I mean, I started my journey with the organon. After experiencing different schools of thoughts, I actually came back to organon. Okay, nothing else is working for me, let's go back to the roots. Because I realized that my roots are still weak. So I started working again on the organon, on my repertories, on my materia medica. And the more I study the basic subjects thoroughly, the more I realize that how weak I am, how much I still need to learn. And the more I realize that what Dr. Sankran or Dr. Vijayakar or Vithulkas or Dr. Sehgal or the big names are able to do, or the successes they are able to show us, it's happening because one thing, they are very, very well grounded in the basics. And secondly, they have come to this stage after like 20, 30 years of practice. So you cannot start your journey right at their level. You have to start at your level. So don't be afraid of failures, but at the same time, you have to learn from your failures also. So this is how my journey started. And from there on, I started, instead of focusing on other methods, I started focusing on my patient. Let's take the case thoroughly according to the principles of the organon, and let's do according to the textbook, follow the principles well, give the remedy that I find the most suitable, but let's not rest here. Let's learn from the failures. That was the biggest teacher for me. My failures, when I started learning from them, like if a case is not working, if a remedy is not working, I would actually go back to the case and try to figure out why I'm not able to solve this case. And those failures were the biggest, best teacher I have ever had. Gradually, over the next couple of years, my success rate started to improve. Then the next step came when, from the part of case taking, repertory, materia medica, I came to the science of posology. When I discovered the newer posology of Hahnemann, my success rate really, really, really shot up like anything. Overnight. Nothing else changed. My knowledge of organon, my knowledge of materia medica, my knowledge of repertory, they did not change beyond that level suddenly. But the understanding of posology and case management improved my success rate dramatically. And today, uh, after 15 years of clinical practice, I've come to a stage where I know what I'm doing with the patient, what the patient is saying, what I have to take note of in the patient, what remedy to give and what response to expect from it. Where it has come, I've come to a stage where I have a level of certainty in my prescriptions, and that is what we all seek. So when you people are starting out, make sure that you are ready for the long haul. There are no shortcuts for the success. Please remember, there are no shortcuts. Even this 6 months of course, it's not a shortcut. It's the start of a journey. It's the start of a journey. The journey has just begun. The more you actually go into the practice, the more difficulties you will face, the more challenges you will face, and the more you overcome them, the more you will grow as a homeopath. So don't think that in these 6 months you will learn a lot. There's no doubt about that. But it's not a magic potion. You have to actually go back to your clinics and have to solve the cases. Only that is the real parameter of success. And it's going to be a slow and long journey. So if you're mentally prepared for that, if you're willing to wait for the patient and give your 100% to each and every single patient who enters your clinic, only then you will be able to grow as a homeopath. So with this starting note, let's start with case taking. Because I think that case taking is the most essential aspect of homeopathy, because that is the point where the patient and physician's interaction starts. That is where you come one-to-one with your prospective patient. So if that part is not strong enough, if you make mistakes during the case taking, what happens if you make mistakes during case taking? You are going to get wrong symptoms. Or rather, I would say not the right symptoms. If you don't get the right symptoms, what are you going to get? You are going to get wrong rubrics. If you put wrong rubrics in the repertory, what are you going to get? Wrong remedies. And after that, what you are going to get? Failure. In computer science, there is a principle which is called GIGO. GIGO stands for garbage in, garbage out. Computers don't have brains. Brains, I mean, they have artificial intelligence now, but when I was studying computer science, artificial intelligence was still a very, very nascent science. And we still have a principle of GIGO principle that when you feed something in the computer, and if it's not the right thing, you will get the wrong answer. You put the wrong thing, you get the wrong answer. Same thing, you have very good repertorization softwares today, very large repertories, which give you a lot of remedies also, a lot of tools at your disposal. But if you select the wrong rubrics, if you select the wrong symptoms, you are going to get the wrong remedy. The software is not going to tell you, Baba, you are making mistake. Nobody tells you, only the patient will tell you. When he comes for the next consultation, sir, I am not better. Okay. So this is the most important and most crucial part of the patient interaction, which starts with the first consultation. And that is where we are going to start today. What we are going to do in today's session is we are not going to just do theory, rote learning that you can read in the aphorisms also. What I'm going to teach you is, we'll do a couple of aphorisms just to get the basics right, and then we'll start doing a case. I'll show the principles live, how to actually live those principles which are written in the theory. Because that is the only way you are going to appreciate the principles.